Hey everyone, it's Nella here with Fleur and Drew, which incidentally were the two that I brought to the doll meet today. Yay, doll meet! Um, it was actually at a public place this time, which it usually turns into. We go to the public place during the summer. Um, and it was good. It was a nice meet. However, there was one little mishap with Drew. I had, of course, restrung her, and I had made her less floppy, but she is still really floppy. The tension kind of undid itself a little bit in the bag when I was carrying her, so she was more floppy again. And she was sitting, and one of the owners came by and hadn't taken off her backpack yet, and Drew fell to the ground because she got hit by a backpack. The other owner was extremely apologetic. I, of course, rushed over because I went, "Oh, that's mine!" Rushed over. Drew is okay. As far as I can tell, there are no scratches to her face, which is good because her face actually was on the concrete. This sealant came off the tip of her nose, but it looks like it was just sealant. I don't see any scratch, and I don't feel any scratch. She's not 100% okay, though. In the fall, her head cap has the, gosh, how do I say this? There's three parts that stick from her head cap into her head, and the most fragile one, the hook, which goes right in the center, that broke off. Which, I mean, the hook part of it is actually still inside her head, but it's broken off of the head cap. So until I can super glue that, I guess, I'll just be using extra putty to keep her head on. But she's actually okay, and the other owner was, of course, super apologetic. It was actually one that I'm more friends with, so she's super apologetic, and I'm like, you know what, she's fine. And she's a warrior, she's gonna have war wounds, and I went, and you know what, this isn't the worst injury that's happened to my dolls at a doll meet. Because, of course, if you guys have watched my previous video about horror stories, there was, of course, the wonderful time when Fleur fell backwards off of a bronze statue onto stone. Yeah. What can I say? Resin is a lot stronger than a lot of us think. And then you'll find, but it really varies from batch to batch and company to company, of course. Fleur was there because I picked up my Alice collection order. So this is one of the shirts for her. You see this kind of a cutaway. This is one of her shirts. Yeah, so this is the other one, and it is pink and a bit transparent, and it's very frilly and ruffly. And I did have a couple of people ask, did I intentionally get her a shirt that looks like the one that I was wearing at the meet? And I went, you know what? I completely forgot. That's kind of how my shirt looks. So it's completely unintentional. And Benjy is here because the other bit of clothing from that order was an outfit for him. And here is his shirt. Of course, one of his crazy, wacky, why would you wear that print. And this one is of South Africa. It's white and orange and green, and has map and it has little elephants and tribes and huts. It has like illustrations on it and little icons, so it's definitely strange print, but it suits him. And then here are his pants. Now I'm going to have to iron them because of how they were in the bag that Alice Collection sent. They kind of bent a little bit, so they'll have to be ironed out. And it has built-in straps. I'm going to say straps and not suspenders because suspenders still are a separate piece and this is attached, of course. And I was thinking, like, okay, I know how big an SD is. And I know how big an SD is relative to a mini, because I'd say most of the dolls, most of the BGDs in the city where I live, most of them, or at least the ones that get brought to meets, most of them are SDs. There are minis, there are tinies, but most of the ones that I see on a regular basis are the SDs or 70 centimeters. So I'm used to the bigger sizes. I'm used to seeing them. It's one thing to see them and it's one thing to know how big they are. It's another thing to get the clothing for them and compare it to your mini. Yeah. It is going to be a big size jump when I get Benjy his body. I mean, okay, these are his pants. I'll try and do this. These are his pants. They are his pants. Are almost as big as Fleur. Actually, no. If you include the straps, his pants are bigger than Fleur. So that's going to be such a change when he gets his body. Which, now that I have, a new outfit for him, in addition to the stuff that fits SDs that I already had kicking around, I'm really wanting to get him his body. But I'll discuss that in another video, because this one's getting really long. Okay, bye everyone. Have a wonderful night.